I think September of 2021 when I started to see good results. And from there onwards till end of 2023, I did overall 170,000 in payouts by just trading part-time. I haven't even invested, more than 500 euros. And I made like 3,000 something dollars
nice.
in my very first payout. So the risk to reward ratio on it was terrible. Did FTMO challenge, failed quite a few times. However, I was slowly, able to grab my idea that how I need to pass the challenge. I started to understand that what risk management plan should I be following in order to pass phase 1, pass phase 2 and continue trading different accounts.
Was it difficult for you to have a grip on your psychology or technicals? Like what was the difficult part, psychology or technical side of trading?
I think
At some point you say like, I have had enough and now I have to take it serious. What was that point?
when I was trading my personal capital, I was able to make money. But when I was trading the challenges, the reason why I wasn't able to pass the challenges is only one reason. With prop firms, the models that are designed to make you fail, designed to make you always run after the money and not actually understand trading.
Do you believe like making trading complicated and dissecting it into way lower time frames give you a better edge than the simplistic traders? What is your thoughts on this?
I think why 95% of the trader or 90% of the trader they fail, they overcomplicate things. They think trading is too hard. They learn one strategy, they just trade 2 or 3 times and they see, oh, it didn't really work out, move on to the next strategy. I would say these are few of the very common mistakes that every trader is making. What I do every time, and I've been doing the same thing over and over and over again since 2017.
You got like 1 million in funding.
Yeah, at one point, yeah.
It's a dream of a lot of funded traders.
100%.
Like, how does it feel like when you get 1 million in funding? Welcome to the third podcast of Forex 3247. And today we are going to explore a mysterious figure. And he is right here in Pakistan from Dubai and UK. And he also runs a prop firm. And not just that, he has taken $170,000 in payout since 2020. We have Ajwad Saleem right here.
Thanks, man. Nice to meet you.
Welcome to Pakistan, man. Welcome to Pakistan.
Thank you.
So, Ajwad, tell me about yourself. Like, how did you start in trading and what was the journey like?
Well, my name is Ajwad. I go by the name Ajwad Trades on YouTube. Been trading for 8+ years. Back in 2016, I was doing my bachelor's and it was my first semester. I had a friend who got the idea of trading and he started looking into trading. And at the time, I was a new guy who, just started his bachelor's, was into tech and always playing games and all that stuff. I didn't know anything about what trading is, what stock market is or anything. So that friend, when he started looking into it, he was my best friend. He gave me the idea that there is this market that you can buy and sell, you can make money out of it. And when he told me, I started looking on YouTube. And, when we first start to look on YouTube, it's always those Lambo gurus. They are always flexing the cars and the lifestyle. And I was really impressed by if I can do that, then it's going to be really, something that in Pakistan, especially at the time I was in Pakistan, not many people, they can achieve anything like that.
Exactly.
So I was in fool's paradise that I will be able to turn few $1,000s into hundreds of thousands of dollars in a very short span of time. But that turned out to be a lie because when I started learning trading, all the things that I was doing, it wasn't working at all. Every time I was losing. So any strategy that I followed from these so-called gurus didn't work at all. In mid of 2017, when I found my mentor who started teaching me what actual trading is and how you actually need to look at the market. So that was a turning point for me because that's when I actually started learning. So I'm a price action trader. I've been trading price action. I don't trade ICT. I don't trade any smart money concepts. The same strategy that I learned in 2017 till 2019, which was a period of 2.5 years for me, that's the same strategy that I use. And when I started learning, of course, it wasn't really going well for me because when you start trading, it doesn't work well. You have to understand not only the basics, but also the concepts that what if when you're looking into a trade, what if it doesn't work? Then how you're going to be managing your risk? What will be your psychology? There are so many things, pieces of puzzle. So I was trying to understand, and at the same time, I was always trading live. I never traded demo. Not the first time when I opened my account, it was also the live account. The second time, the third time, every single time it was live accounts that I was trading with. So when I was trading, I still remember the very first profitable month that I had, it was in May 2018, and I made like $300. However, the account was $2,000. And I always believed still believe, and I think that's going to be my opinion as well. No matter if you are trading with prop firms, you're trading with your personal capital, it should always be controlled risk. You should not be risking 3, 4, 5% per trade, even if you are trading your personal capital. So at that time, I was doing the same. Max risk was 1%, and I was looking at trades with 1:3 rewards. So first profitable month was May 2018. Then I started losing for quite a few months because I thought, now I have this first month, so every single month is going to be profitable, which didn't really work in a way that I wanted it to work. However, because I was learning and I kept improving, in late 2018, I started to see good results. But I was still a student of my mentor at the time.
Who was your mentor, by the way?
Naveen Prithyani. There is this YouTube channel called Urban Forex, and he trades price action live with his community. I don't know right now what he does, but still, when I was with him, like at the time, he was doing
So like
live trading.
his way of trading, like something was very effective to you and it was easy to grip.
Yeah. So like the concepts that he was sharing, it's completely different. Like you don't see that type of things on anywhere on any social media. The way he taught me and the way I was trading is you don't really look at market based on just the structure. There is every single movement that's happening. There is a reason for that, right? Whether market is going up on a specific pair or going down, it just doesn't happen on a specific pair. When big boys, the big players of the market, when they buy or they sell, they just don't buy a pair. They don't invest in a pair. They invest into a currency. If they are interested in buying euro, if they are interested in dumping euro, the move should be happening across all euro, like 8 pairs of euro, because that's what we were doing. All the 8 pairs, the major pairs or major currencies, I would say, we were trading just those major currencies. So I learned a lot from him. Then back in 2019 February, when I first came across FTMO, and at the time it wasn't that popular.
Yeah.
So I did my first FTMO challenge. I remember that I didn't complete the challenge, but because back in the days, there were time limits that you have to complete 10% profit target within 30 days on phase 1 and then 5% on phase 2, but within 60 days. So I remember the very first time when I came across FTMO, I knew that my strategy works. I was kind of making money, but not that much. So I did my first FTMO challenge in Feb 2019 till mid of March 2019, like for 30 days. I made like 3 point something percent, but because I didn't complete the 10% profit target, so they gave me a free retry. So I did the FTMO challenge again for free. Right? They gave me a free retry. I passed it. Then I smashed phase 2, got my very first payout, and that was like a turning point. I was like, I haven't even invested, more than 500 euros. And I made like 3,000 something dollars
nice.
in my very first payout. So, however, after that...
Before having your first payout, how many challenges did you fail?
Nothing. At the time,
that was your first challenge.
Yeah.
Like, would you say like that was a beginner's luck, or you...
100%. 100%. The reason, because right after I got my first payout, I thought like every single bi-weekly, like 2 weeks time, I'm going to be smashing payouts after payouts.
Oh.
But that didn't happen. After my first payout, I lost the account. I bought another challenge, failed it. Bought another challenge, failed it. Bought another challenge, failed it. Till the time came that it was like last year of my university. So I decided, let me just take a break. Let me focus on my studies. Once I'm done with it, I will keep trading my personal capital, of course, but I won't be risking 500 euros, 530 euros every single time just to buy FTMO challenges. So when I was, taking a break, I came across another prop firm. And Fundedsquad right now has kind of like a similar funding model for instant funding that firm used to offer back in 2019 and 2020. So it was BlueFX. And BlueFX was getting very popular because of their instant funding. You were just paying £249, I think, per month. I think it was either $249 or pounds, I don't remember, but you were paying £250 a month and you were getting a $50,000 account without having to pass any evaluation. However, the leverage was 1:3 or something. But I thought, it's best like if I don't have to pass a challenge, I just trade with it. I study, I trade. So it was like part-time for me at the time. But that worked really well. I got few payouts from BlueFX. So then COVID came, and then my final year, project was there, so I was just focused there. Then I didn't trade for like few months until I came back in 2020, like October or November, when I started trading again. And at that time, these firms, my forex funds, funding talent, they started to pop up. So I traded with funding talent. I traded with my forex fund. At the time, they had like a terrible website. Like even any sensible person who was coming to their website, they were just calling it a scam. They were that terrible. So I traded with them. However, I didn't pass the challenge. But I was trading with funding talent, and they had a very unique model, which, to be honest, like it made me money, but I spent more money on it, to be honest. So the risk to reward ratio on it was terrible. Did FTMO challenge, failed quite few times. However, I was slowly, able to grab my idea that how I need to pass the challenge. I started to understand that what risk management plan should I be following in order to pass phase 1, pass phase 2, and continue trading the fund account. And then after that, in I think September of 2021, when I started to see good results. And from there onwards till end of 2023, I did overall 170,000 in payouts by just trading part time. I never traded full time. I had my other businesses. Was focusing on few pro firms at the time, helping them grow, and at the same time was trading, was building my own YouTube channel. So that was my journey, like how I started and how I ended up, being able to make 170K from
Yeah,
pro firms
nice.
only.
So, Ajwad, like when you started, like during your grind process, like grind period, like was it difficult for you to have a grip on your psychology or technicals? Like what was the difficult part, psychology or technical side of trading?
I think you can understand technicals really easy, but psychological point of trading, it's very difficult. The reason every single time why I wasn't able to make money is because when I was looking at trade, I knew it's not meeting my trading criteria, but I was still chasing the market. So
Yeah.
that's my psychological mistake that I was doing, because I was always like, what if market just goes up or goes down, and I end up not taking a trade? So that FOMO, right, fear of missing out, was coming in every single time. And that was one of the main reason why I wasn't able to follow my trading plan, why I wasn't able to make any profits from trading consistently, because that was the mistake that I was doing. Just randomly jumping into trade without following any plan, even though I knew there is a chance market isn't gonna be performing the way I want it to perform. But because that, greed, that FOMO, it was always making me lose money.
Yeah, but like a lot of traders, like, because I believe trading is very easy. It's very simplistic
100%,
approach.
yeah.
If you follow like 1 to 2, even a chicken can pass a
Yeah.
propfirm challenge. If you know about
Yeah.
that guy, the propfirm kid.
Yeah, I know.
But a lot of traders, like they say like we over risk, like, or we over trade, and then they say like we're not gonna do it anymore, but they still keep doing it over and over again. Like, what was your point? Like, was the same thing happening with you, repeating the same psychological mistakes over and over again? And when you got out of that, like, what was the hardest lesson that made you, like, quit these psychological mistakes? Like, like at some point you say like, I have had enough, and now I have to take it serious. What was that point?
There is a point. I remember during 2021 time, because I was losing lots of challenges with funding talent, with my forex fund and FTMO at the same time. These were the three firms that I was trading. When I was trading my personal capital, I was able to make money. But when I was trading the challenges, the reason why I wasn't able to pass the challenges is only one reason. When you look at $100,000 or $200,000 amount, that's not something that every trader has. Even I would say majority of traders, they never even see 100,000 in actual capital in their account. I was one of that guy, and I was thinking, what if I just pass this 200k with that firm, 100k with that firm? I will be having $500,000 in funding, so I can just trade 2% or 3% a month. I can make that amount of money, and I will be able to have a very good life. The mistake that I kept making is I wasn't understanding that that's 500,000 with prof firms, the models that are designed to make you fail, designed to make you always, run after the money and not actually understand trading. I was trading my personal capital and I was following my plan. But when I was trading FTMO challenge, the mistake I was making is randomly jumping into the trade. That was the same psychological issue that I was having. However, I started to understand at one point that every single time I'm going through my trading journal and I'm seeing the reason why I took a trade is because I was having this one confirmation that overall market has reached this supply zone or demand zone or maybe support and resistance, and it's going to go reverse, but there are no other confirmations. And the reason why I executed that trade is because I wanted to pass the challenge as soon as possible, not because I wanted to pass the challenge by following my plan, by following my risk management plan that I made for prop firms, but I wanted to pass it very soon so that I can get my hands on 500K or 400K capital. So when I started to understand that that's not going to be working, and I started looking at how many accounts I'm failing right now, versus I haven't made any money this year so far with any prop firm, then I had that, how do we say, realization that I should not be just randomly wasting my money that I'm making from my personal capital. I was actually making profits on my personal capital. At the same time, I'm making from my other work, but I'm just randomly wasting every single time buying challenges, not following my plan, not waiting for right opportunity, always thinking I'm going to be passing my challenge in 1 day or 2 days, risking 3%, 4% per trade. That was the mistake. Till I had that realization, now it's enough. I don't have anything left in my bank just to keep buying the challenges. And that was like probably for me the turning point, because I was, now I had that fear. What if now it's not gonna work? Then what will I do? So then I sat down, I made a plan, I forced myself, wait until the opportunity comes. Risk 1% or 2%, whatever, but at least let market present you a good opportunity that meets your plan, that A plus setup or A category setup. Then it started to work for me.
Exactly. The reason I'm having a smirk on my face is I have gone through the same road, like thinking it's like I would get one payout, but then like you just start to think like it's very easy and you can replicate it like just like that. But you have to understand the probabilities of the market.
100%.
Like the market, they're not gonna be humble every single day,
100%.
right? Some things like Monday, Tuesday, it's gonna keep ranging, and then out of a sudden there's going to be a big move, and you have to know like when you have to go aggressive to capitalize out of that move and when you have to stay defensive. And I believe like I've also run a firm, a lot of traders like they try to like trade their challenges like in a low probability market, in a range, in a small range, and they just keep like paper cuts, like small losses that they think like they will be able to recover, but like having like 0.5% loss, 1% loss, like the moment I believe like the moment you are like minus 5% on a challenge account, that's a point of no return. Like 100%. That's what I believe, because as you said, like prop firms, they psychologically show you like it's a big capital, but in reality, it's only like for example, $100,000 account. That's not 100,000. That's a $10,000 account, because you can only lose like down till 90,000, right? So if you're down like 5%, that means like you're 50% down. And from minus 5%, if you want to go back to break even, that means you have to double your account.
Yes.
You have to make 100% gain. So it becomes very difficult at that point. So totally would agree with you on that point. Ajwad, like what is your trading be like? Do you think like nowadays, like a lot of people, some traders, like they make trading so complicated, like for example, smart money concepts, ICT, inner circle trader, but most of the traders, they keep it very simple, like trend line, support and resistance, and they turn out to be profitable at the same time. What is your approach? Like, do you believe like making trading complicated and dissecting into way lower time frames give you a better edge than the simplistic traders? What is your thoughts on this?
In my opinion, simplicity is the key. When I trade, when I look at market, I don't draw any trend line. I don't draw any support and resistance. When you will look at my chart, it's clean. There is not even a single Picasso drawing that everyone is doing. I don't do that.
Dinosaur pattern.
Yeah, like, the patterns that, doesn't make sense. If it was just going to be the patterns, then why 90% of the traders are failing? I think why 95% of the trader or 90% of the trader, they fail, they overcomplicate things. They think trading is too hard. They learn one strategy, they just trade 2 or 3 times, and they see, oh, it didn't really work out, move on to the next strategy. These are one of, or I would say these are few of the very common mistakes that every trader is making. What I do every time, and I've been doing the same thing over and over and over again since 2017, same strategy, same concepts. I start my analysis with daily time frame, and I don't look at single pair. I open 7 pairs of each currency, and I just only on daily time frame. I just look where the market is heading on a specific currency, whether euro is getting stronger or it's getting weaker, more like a currency strength meter. And then I write it down. All right, euro is strong. It's there is like a number of system that I'm following, and I do it manually. It doesn't take more than 5 minutes, and I see like, okay, euro is strong, probably let's say +4 point, and anything for me between +3 to +7 is strong, -3 to -7 is weak, +2 to -2, it's all neutral. So if the number matches this, +3 to +7, then it means, let's say, euro is getting strong. I know euro is going to go up, right? Market or the big boys, they have been buying euro. However, against what? That then I need to do the analysis on the other pairs, on the other currencies. Then I see if USD is getting weaker, that means I have a strong versus weak pair, which is euro US dollar, or strong versus neutral pair. So in a strong versus weak pair, you will always see market will be just going up and up and up, making you or giving you very small pullbacks and then continuing its movement. In a strong versus neutral pair or weak versus neutral pair, every single time you're going to be having strong movements to the up or to the down, but there will be decent pullbacks on which you can capitalize. Then strong versus strong, weak versus weak, always ranging market. Because both of the sides, they want to buy, they want to sell at the same time. So how they're going to be having one direction? They won't be able to have until one currency loses its strength or weakness, and then other currency they start to dominate. So that's I would say consolidation is mostly like 70 to 80% of the time market stays in consolidation, or maybe more than that. I only trade strong versus neutral. That's my A+ setup. There are a lot of things that I do, which I'm going to explain. But for A+ setup, if I am considering any pair that is going to be A+ trade, it has to be strong versus neutral pair for me. Mm-hmm. Then I go down to 1 hour time frame, straight from daily to 1 hour. I'm not drawing anything. I'm not doing anything. I'm just looking at what market, the price action, what is it doing, where the movements are happening, and everything is going in my head. All the calculations, it's going in my head. When I'm on 1 hour, then I see where the recent break of structure happened. If there was a strong resistance on 1 hour time frame from where the market kept getting resisted, or a strong spot. If market has broken it, that means we have a break of structure. And if we made higher high or lower low, higher high in case of buy, lower low in case of sell, if we made that, there is going to be a higher chance that market is going to come back to where it broke that break of structure, that strong resistance or strong spot, retest it and go up. But in that retest, there is a specific price action that I look for, and that's 3 moves. How I start to look. First, market has to make a move. Imagine that market is going up. Everyone is interested in buying. No one cares about sell because market is going up. Suddenly, at one point, market starts to pull back. It pulls back. People who are buying, they're not going to be selling at this time, right? The reason, because it just made a strong buy move and a very small pullback. So what's going to happen? Market will continue its movement to the upside again. I prefer that it continues its movement to higher high, right? Mm-hmm. But from there, it should get rejection. Once it will get rejection, nice. It needs to come down. Nice. Now, when it's coming down, there was a first movement that happened when no one cared about selling. Now there is a second movement which is going lower than the first small pullback that happened from sell. When it's happening, the second move, then people are going to be like, why in the world we have this rejection on higher high? Why in the world this second move that's coming, it's getting lower than a first move that came from sell during that strong buy movement? Everything is first move, second move, and when second move happens, I like to call it confusion. So first is what the hell is going on? Second is why in the world it's going on, right? After that, when sell comes, they're definitely going to make on a miniature level. You're looking at 1 hour time frame, but you're now considering a miniature movements. Sell is going to make a lower high. so that market will trick you into thinking that it's now a lower low and lower high sequence. So when lower high will be created, market is going to go down. When it's going down, that's where the execution part comes. Execution is because it's third move. Everyone is now going to be thinking, okay, there is a lower low, there is a lower high. Market just broke the recent lower low. It's no longer a buy. It now has turned into sell. So when everyone is selling, then comes the big players. They're going to be waiting at that break of market structure. They're waiting. They're waiting until enough people they turn into sell, so that they have enough sells in the market so that they can buy. So when we'll have enough sells in the market, confusion, confirmation, and execution. After the execution part, I'm just waiting. All right, now people are selling. I'm waiting for big players, the buyers, to make a move. But that move is something that I call V formation. And that's the same concept I learned from my mentor back in the days. A V formation is there is a point from where sell move started. It came down to a point. From there, it reversed, but it's reversing to the same point from where the sell started. However, this buyer's movement should be very strong to give me the idea buyers are interested in buying. So if this V-looking formation or structure happens in the market, then I'm like, aha, now this is my movement that I'm going to be waiting for the trade. I'm not going to buy at that high from where market just completed its V formation. I'm going to wait for it to come a little bit down, give me, let's say, a discount so that I can buy from a better price. That's the price from where I buy, and I wait for it to go towards the recent higher high. Or vice versa, wait for it to go for recent lower low. When
The same structure happened, like this V-shaped recovery which you're defining right now. Like last Friday, 16th of May, if you look at the charts on gold, daily time frame, it dropped crazy. And then there was a V-shaped recovery. It rejected the point from where it dropped. And then it went into a discounted price. It tapped a rejection support on this leg that made the V. Yeah. And then it started to go up.
That happens every single time. If you look at chart over the past, let's say, 10 years, you will see this pattern on every single pair of each currency, whether you're going for euro, whether you're going for dollar, you're going for GBP, Japanese yen, Kiwi, Canadian dollar, Aussie, whatever you're trading, every single currency on every single pair, from time to time, you're going to be seeing the same pattern. There will be break of structure, there will be higher high or lower low, 3-phase pullback. After the pullback, a V formation. After the V formation, I like to call it a test phase. Test phase is basically when market is giving you the discounted price and then buy or sell the start. That's how I trade.
So Ajwad, like to put your strategy at a glance for the viewers, like it's something like you have step one where you have to look on the daily time frame, the daily candles.
Yeah.
And at that time, like you look at the fundamentals, like which pair is stronger against what. And then you go down on the 1 hour time frame and you look at the structures. Where's the higher high, higher low, where's the break of structure is happening. And let's say like you go the step 2, you go on the 1 hour and you see a lower low and you see a lower high. And after that lower high, you see the candles, they've started to reject. And it's showing you signs it's going to go down and make a new lower low. Yeah. And that's the point where you position yourself to catch that leg that makes the lower low. Yeah. Right? And further, like the third step is your execution, where you're going to place the stop loss and the take profit.
So there are two ways to look at it. Whether you are buying or selling, both the trades can be done. When you are on 1 hour and you see market, let's say in example of sell, market is going down, creating a lower low. There's 3 legs that are going to come for pullback. So when the first leg comes, that's confusion. Second leg comes, that's confirmation. Now when confirmation comes, it's obvious. And I would say it's most likely to be advanced trade, or let's say, how do we say, like when you're going against the trend, then you have the chance to capitalize on the third leg that's going to come. Because you have confirmation, so there's going to be a third leg where market is going to trick everyone into execution. So you can trade before everyone starts to panic. So there is a trade that you can do during the pullback. And then when pullback will finish, in the overall sell, you can continue the movement. You can take the trade, which is going to be now going for another lower low, or it can only go towards lower, depending on whether the currency is strong versus neutral, or I would say the pair is strong versus neutral, or whether the pair is strong versus weak. It all depends on these fundamentals from
So
the higher
like
time frames.
do you often change your bias? Because a lot of traders are simple price action trader. I was myself once was a price action trader. Like for example, when you go down on the 1 hour time frame and you see a lower low and you see price making a lower high, and it also starts to give you rejections to go
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
You go in a sell trade.
Yeah.
But what happens? The price it breaches the previous swing point, and it tries to show you that I'm changing the trend.
Yeah.
People they close their trade and they go into the buy, and what happened then? The price it drops. Like how do you counter that in your strategy?
So let's say if market isn't going to continue its movement to low and it starts to go up and it even crosses the point from where the sell started, I'm not just randomly going to change into buyer's direction like for buyers. I'm going to be waiting the same pattern. If it's actually a buy, then it needs to have a higher high. And just to be clear, market when it's making the buy movement, it has to have higher high as well as higher low. So without higher low,
okay.
I'm not going to be considering that,
Alright.
oh, right, it's a higher high. What if it's a fake out?
Exactly.
Right? It's just like there to liquidate the positions that were in sell from a long time. What if that it's liquidating the position and then it's going to continue its movement to the down? Because I don't know without high low if it's a buyer's movement or not, and same goes for the sell side.
So simply like if the price action breaches it, it goes up. You're not gonna just simply jump into
100%.
a buy. In order for you to get into a buy, you would want the price action to come back down and give you a rejection
Yeah.
and making a higher low.
Yeah.
And then you say, okay, now the characteristics it's shifting towards higher highs, higher
Yes.
lows, higher highs, higher lows.
That's the
right?
way.
Yeah, that's a good one. So a lot of traders, if you're having this mistake in your simple price action trading, once the order flow goes against you, make sure you stay back and wait for the next setup. Patience is the key in trading. So Ajwad, like I have seen some of your podcast, and I think like you got like 1 million in funding.
Yeah, at one point, yeah.
It's a dream of a lot of funded traders. Like
100%.
how does it feel like when you get 1 million in funding?
To be
Like-
honest, at the time, it was totally normal. That account, that when I had that 1 million, there was one account of 500K with bespoke funding and one account of 500K with the funded trader program. At
Both
the same
of the firms, they're not anymore.
they are not
So
there
you
anymore.
lost that funding.
Yeah. So I will tell you how I lost. So at one point I was at 1 mil. Actually, at the same time, when I lost 500K, I got 200K account the same moment, right? Like in the same period of time. So if I didn't lose that 500K bespoke account, it would have been 1.2 mil in funding, but it's like 1 mil at one time. But that 500K with the funded trader program, I held that account, like I had that account for over 550 days. So I was trading that account without losing it for over 550 days until TFT went out of business in Feb 2024. But during that time, the other account, bespoke funding, because that account I was managing it like more of when I was risking, 3%, 2% per trade.
Aggressive approach.
Yeah, so I had more like aggressive approach for that account. Well, it was a very new account and I didn't make any money with bespoke at all. The other account with TFT, I already got like 60,000 in payouts just from that one single account. So I was taking one account conservative approach and the other account aggressive approach, and then I ended up losing that 500K within like 2 months. However, when I lost it, because I wasn't really risking that much on my TFT account, so I had that account. And after that, like I barely traded, I think for a few weeks on that account, and I got like few thousand extra more payouts. But recently I got one email from the funded trader program, and funny enough, they sent me statistics that how much money I spent on buying the challenges with the funded trader program and how much I got in return. The amount that I spent was only $1,800 on the challenges, making the purchases with the funded trader program. Only 1,800, and my profit share from TFT was over $48,000.
Oh damn.
So the return on investment for me was more than 20x.
Crazy.
I would say 24x.
Crazy. So like you said, like you were 500K funding. Do you prefer like having multiple 100K accounts or just like two big accounts? Like what would you prefer? If you were offered like a 1 million funding right now, would you prefer like 100K times 10 accounts or you would say like I just need like two 500K accounts again?
I think for me, two 500K will be the best option because I don't like to have multiple accounts and then use copy trader to manage each one of the account. It's better if I have one account, 500K or let's say 1 million in funding. That works best for me because I don't personally like to, first of all, use copy trade. Second, don't like to manage multiple different accounts and going through every account, executing the trade, then closing the trade, putting take profit, putting stop loss. It's a bit of a hectic for me.
So Ajwad, like, what is your approach like passing the challenges? Like, how do you like if you have to start again with having all this experience you gain over the years? How would you be starting? Like,
With the experience that I have right now, first of all, I'm not gonna be buying the challenge right now. The reason right now market is shifting more towards instant funding. That's my opinion, and that's what you have been seeing that most of these firms now they are offering instant funding.
yeah,
But again, if you say that you have to do challenge, then my approach is going to be that I'm just going to be risking 0.5% on a challenge. Why? There is no time limit now, right? You don't have to pass phase one within 30 days. It's unlimited time. And most of the firms, they have 8% target. So it's not 10% anymore. Now, 0.5% not on every single trade, but on the first trade. And target minimum of 3 rewards. So if I start right, I look for the opportunity which meets my plan, by the way. It has to make like it has to be that it's following my trading criteria. And then I'm executing the trade. If it's going in profit, that's going to be 1.5% gain for me. Out of that 1.5%, I'm going to be risking or utilizing 1% for the next trade. And I'm not going to randomly jump into the trade. I'm going to wait until market meets my plan, but with 1% risk.
so you mean like you will make a buffer above the initial
Yes.
balance, and you will use that buffer
Yeah.
for the risk. So if you lose those trades, like you are at least back at break
Yeah.
even, right?
You know, the reason, let's say you start with 1% risk in first trade and that trade goes against you. Now you're down 1%.
1%,
So
and
psychologically, you're going to be like, man, I
yeah.
just started the challenge. I don't want it to, I didn't want to be the first losing trade. So I have to now recover 1%.
Exactly.
Then be in profit. So you're going to be risking probably 1 or 2% on the second trade as well. Let's say if you risk 1% again and that trade again goes against you. Now you're down 2%. So now it's messed up because
Yeah.
you're going to be like, not only you have to make 8%, but you also have to recover that 2%. That's where most traders fail. You had a firm. I'm running a firm for 8+ months. I know how traders are failing the challenges. And it's the same mistake. As soon as they go into drawdown, if that's the first trade, then it's game over.
Exactly.
It's always game over. So that's why first trade should be the minimum risk until you have 1 or 2% of buffer. Then you can, let's say if you have 2% of buffer, risk 1% in the trade. If you lose, you still have 1% gain. Risk 1% again. If you even lose the second trade, you are back at break even. You don't have to risk 1% again. Go back to 0.5. When you go back to 0.5, not only you're cutting your losses, the second, you're not going to be having that psychological impact because you just lost the amount that you made,
And
not
you
the
have
amount from the starting
more
balance.
confidence
Yeah.
in your setups, because at the same time, like a lot of traders, they ask me like, hey, like how do, like we are in the trade but we are afraid, we close early, and I always say like, hey, if you are risking high, you will always going to have
100%.
psychological stress and pressure to close the trade. So if you want to have confidence in your trading, do execute the setups, because like don't be afraid of having 2-3 losses, because if you are risking less and targeting 1 to 3 over the span of like 1 week, 1 month, over like 50, 100 trades, your edge is going to play out no matter what
100%.
strategy you are
Yeah,
using.
100%.
100%. So definitely, I would agree on this. This is a very very nice approach. I use the same approach as well. Like I start like very conservative,
Yeah.
make a buffer, and then I use that buffer on A+ setups to go aggressive. To you know give my
Perfect.
challenge like a finisher, like
Best way
finish
to do it.
punch. Yeah, best approach. So Ajwal, like how much did you spend on education? Like, do you, like right now, if a new person comes into trading, like, and he doesn't know anything about trading, what his approach should be? Should he be investing in education, or should he be relying on YouTube and influencers and watching their content? Is it worth it to spend on education, on good influencer, good courses, those I'm not talking about fake gurus. I'm talking about those like who takes the money for their mentorship or whatever, but they deliver. They make sure that the student like he gets the best out of it.
The best approach should be if a person who doesn't know anything at all, they need to understand few things, and that's I think YouTube is the best platform for that. However, once you start to understand that trading is for you, right? You need to go and find a good mentor. However, when you're finding a good mentor, it's not going to be that someone fake guru who's just throwing you the lifestyle and telling you set and forget and I have this Lambo and all that. You know who I'm referring to right now.
$1 to 100 million.
Yeah, so it's like all bullshit. It doesn't happen that way. Or someone who's showing you profits, but he has his own broker. Things they don't work that way. Don't look for someone who's throwing you the lifestyle or throwing you like turning $10 into 1 mil or whatever the amounts are. Look for someone who's teaching you. There are so many YouTube channels out there who are actually giving you the content, like what you need to learn and how you can improve your trading with just the free education. Then they have the communities. Like I learned from a mentor, right? I was a guy who was watching all these videos, trying to understand that, okay, that if I use this strategy, then I will be able to turn 100 to 1000. Never worked. Until I found a guy who wasn't throwing any lifestyle, who was just randomly sharing this stuff for free. When I started learning his free stuff, then I got the idea, okay, his free stuff is very educational. It's sharing a lot of information for me, lots of tips. Then I went into his community. I started learning from him. It was a course. It wasn't even a community. I learned from him during 2017 through his course. Then later on, when I understood, all right, the amount that I spent, which was $250 for the first course, I understood, yeah, it's actually something that I wanted to learn. It's giving me the right path that I want to follow. Then I joined his community. And that guy, he changed everything when I started to learn from him in the community. Imagine back in 2017, he was trading live on interactive brokers, not a broker that you can fake your results or anything. Interactive brokers, he was trading live there, sharing results whether trade is going negative or whether trade is going profit. He was sharing, and the profits on average were $700, $800, or $1,000 max. In 2019, when I was leaving the community, when my subscription for the community expired, he was using the same concepts, but because he kept trading the same way, he kept following his plan. That same guy who was making $1,000 a trade is now making $15,000 to $20,000 a trade on interactive brokers. Again, you can't fake anything there.
Yeah,
because
it's from
that's not
1990s. Like
it's basically for stock traders, and
Stock
there is
traders,
an option
exactly.
that you can trade forex and all that stuff. So you can't fake anything in these brokers.
100%.
So that's, I think, the best approach should be find someone who is giving you enough education for free, and if it actually has value, then you should learn from him. However, anyone who's throwing you the lifestyle, showing you results and all that stuff is not the right guy for you.
So like to find a good mentor, the one thing like he should be providing free education, free stuff, knowledgeable content, no lifestyle, no luxury bullshit lifestyle. And then what would be the third point, like which the audience should look for?
If it matches their understanding. They
yeah.
need to understand what he's teaching.
What he's
There are
teaching.
many people out there who are just going through YouTube trying to understand, but because that guy, whatever he is teaching, it can be very good
Yeah, it
information.
should be relatable.
Yeah, if it's not related to you, you are not understanding what he's trying to tell you.
Yeah.
Then that's not the guy for you.
Ajwad, like beside yourself, like what other traits and qualities like that fascinates you in other traders? Like when you look at other traders, good traders, what is the thing like you admire?
Well, the first thing is how they treat others. There are so many people, especially when you go to Dubai, it's full of traders and they're always after money. They won't talk to you if you don't have a certain lifestyle, right? They can be a very good trader. I know a lot of traders, very, very good traders, making very good amount of money, but because because you have nothing that they want to get from you, they are not interested in you, right? So for me, someone who knows like how to deal with people, right? Who's not after money or fame, that's something that I really look for. I have quite few trader friends from UK and from Dubai. Even like I'm going next week, so there are few traders that I'm going to be meeting. Very close friend of mine. Never knew them literally just 1 year before. When I went to Dubai, I had I had few meetups with them. started to understand, or these boys, they're not really after money. They're making 40, 50K a month. Doesn't give a shit on anything else. Right? They don't care about women. They don't chase people. They don't chase fame. That's the things that I like to.
Nice.
That's how I connect with people.
But Ajwad, like I have the same approach. Like if you look at my profile, like there's no luxury at all. Like it's totally education, and that's something I admire about traders. Like they're putting some value into the community. But like about the Dubai lifestyle, this is happening at a large scale. Especially
100%.
like people, they get into Dubai, they rent a Lamborghini, they're bullshit luxury, so they rent it, and then they make content and try to show it off to the third world audience, because third world audience, they desire those things and they get attracted, especially the young youth, and they fall into the trap. So what would you like to say about this, and to the young audience who is watching you and who still get fascinated about from these kind of influencers? Oh, like how I'll be doing this the same way, and then they start to chase and this in the same loop. Like how would you like to advise them? And
it's not just the third world countries that's after these things. It's the same thing in the first world countries as well.
So
wherever you go in Western countries, it's the same thing, because when these gurus, when they are throwing,
you mean
their
like they're
lifestyle,
not able to differentiate it's a fake lifestyle or it's a real lifestyle?
They don't understand.
Even the first world countries.
Yeah, 100%. They don't understand. So the thing that what you should be looking for is, first, if someone is, as I said, throwing you the lifestyle, it doesn't mean like they're actually making money. They can be making money through trading, but most probably the lifestyle that they have is coming because of their courses that they're selling to you. So you need to understand, are you going to be getting any value from that guy, right? It's not just about the lifestyle. It's about how you actually learn from someone. Are they giving you anything, right? Or is it just the lifestyle? Other than that, as I said, like even in the first world countries, there are so many people, like a lot of people who can't really differentiate.
Take Miami as an example, like it's a first world country, and all
you
the
see,
fake
like,
stuff, like it's coming
everything
out
is
from
happening there, and people are buying, their stuff, whatever they are selling.
Yeah.
So it's basically everywhere, the situation, and it's happening on a massive scale. And at one point, I think, like, because people are not really smart enough to understand, like, they're getting scammed. That's one of the reasons why every other person is doing it. They're going to Dubai. Dubai is probably the best place where you go. You rent few cars, safest city in the world, hottest girls in the world. But you literally, I would say, like, the keyword Dubai lifestyle is very popular on social media. Hence the reason why you see that so many things are happening there.
Yeah, totally agree. But Ajwad, like if a trader from Pakistan, India, or Bangladesh, basically it's the biggest trading audience, like, in the whole world. If a Pakistani Indian trader, he has some trading skills and he want to go to Dubai to seek like investors, those who can invest in them, is it happening? Like the people who are seeking this,
Well,
like when they go there, like, are there any investors who look up to skills and they appreciate and they invest
100%.
in you?
100%.
So we're there.
You need to have a track record.
Okay.
Right? Without that, skills, they don't matter. Your record actually matters.
So how much of a track record you mean?
I would say minimum it should be one year, and with a decent capital. I'm not saying with hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm saying with something that you can actually trade and you're showing your results.
Like $5,000, something.
10, 20, 15, 5 works fine.
Yeah.
However, you need to have a good track record to actually present to someone else who's interested or who is willing to invest into you, into your skills. And when you're showing them the results, then there's, I would say, quite a lot of
opportunities.
100%. I know someone, I'm not going to name, he just 2 months ago, until 2 months ago, he had 25 million in under management.
Oh,
25 mil.
nice.
Pakistani guy, or I would say British-born Pakistani, lives in UK and Dubai. At that time, 2 months ago, he had 25 mil under management, right? He has his own hedge fund. I know another guy who's doing multiple 8 figures in hedge fund. So it's easy to get investors, but you need track record. There are people out there in the Gulf countries, in the Western world, who are just waiting for you
Waiting
to,
for someone skilled who can manage their
and then they're
money.
willing to invest.
Yeah, but how would you how would you verify your track record? Like, start with what brokerage? Because
Yeah, so for the brokerage, you're not going to be, of course, going for someone who's registered in St. Lucia or Seychelles. You need good broker.
yeah,
It can be IC Markets.
IC Markets.
I'm just giving one example. I'm not saying like you go for IC Market or anything. I'm saying someone or a broker who's actually registered. Let's say they have license in
FCA.
Australia, in UK, FCA, right?
Yeah,
And once you have that broker and you're trading on that broker and you're trading with a good risk management and good strategy, and you have a proven track record of
just
12 years.
connect it to my FX book. Like,
Yeah, and also you can get it verified through third-party platforms.
Yeah.
There are quite few. I don't remember the name right now, but there are quite few that can verify your results. You can have it verified, and that's all good to go.
Yeah, that's good. Like, so if you guys like have the skills, if you can manage a small funds, but you are looking up to something, then Ajwad like shared with you the approach, the way, like it's full of opportunities if you have skill, but you must be having a track record. So Ajwad, like how do you started like the prop firm? Like I'm now gonna coming out from the trading side, the psychology side, and let's get to business. Like, how did you started prop firm and when did you start it? Tell about yourself as a CEO, Fundedsquad, and tell me about everything.
Yeah, so for me, I've been involved in prop firms for quite a few years. I think
2020, since 2020.
I've been trading with prop firms since 2019, but I'm saying operational side of the thing,
Oh.
helping them build their social media and doing their ads and marketing and all that stuff. Been doing that since 2021. So I knew quite a lot of things already, that how these firms they are working. I was going to launch my firm actually back in 2023 with one of my friends, and there was an incident that happened, and I had to delay that launch for a very long time until it came like 2024, early 2024. That was the time when I wanted to launch, but then Meta courts and all that issues started to happen.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not going to be launching my firm, during this time. So I started to wait until everything settles down. Right, and there will be so many. I knew that there will be so many firms that are just going to go down because they can't really manage the things that are going to come, and no one was expecting that Meta Courts will suddenly just shut down every single firm. So I waited until it was the right time, and it took us a couple of months to get ready and all that stuff. And we launched in September 2024. It's been like 8 months.
September 24, yeah.
It's been like 8 months since we launched Fundedsquad. We have done so far right now at the time of recording this podcast, we have done 190,000 in payouts. It's going to be 200 next week. There are a few payouts that I saw that are coming. So we've done 200,000 in payouts. More than 3,000 traders have joined Fundedsquad, and we're growing every single month. It's like right now getting really, really amazing. The best instant funding where you don't have to worry about any consistency rule. On the instant funding model, probably the only firm in the industry who don't offer any consistency score, rules, or anything on instant funding. We don't have anything like that. We offer you 10K account with 6% smart drawdown, 3% daily drawdown for just $153. Original price is $219, but with the 30% discount that we are doing right now on instant funding, it's $153. You don't have to pass any valuation, rewards on demand or payouts on demand, and whenever you make 5%, you request a payout. And the payout, if it's not reached within 12 hours in your account, we pay $1,000 extra. These are the things that we are doing.
So you take guarantee, like if your payout is not in your bank, like in
Within 12 hours.
within 12 hours, you pay 1,000 extra.
Extra, yeah.
So like, is there a profit cap or something like on the instant funding?
Nothing at all. You can make as much money as you want, but you have to make minimum 5% in order to request withdrawal.
Okay, yeah. Okay, minimum 5%. That's fair enough. So how many models you have? Like a 10K account?
Yeah, so we have one step where the profit target is 9%. The account sizes are from 10K to 200K. We have two step. We actually have two different two steps. The first two step that we have, it has 6% phase 1 and 6% phase 2 target.
Okay.
Overall drawdown 8%, but daily drawdown is 3% because the profit targets are already like 6%, lowest in the industry. And bi-weekly rewards, 85% profit split, and the account sizes are the same from 10K to 200K, right? And then we have two-step pro where the profit target for phase 1 is 9%, profit target for phase 2 is 6%, but you get 10% overall drawdown and 4% daily drawdown. And the rest of the things are the same. Then instant funding, where we offer 3 different account sizes: 10K, 25K, and 50K. 10K, it only has one-time payment option. Like you pay, let's say $153 with the discounted price, and you get to keep that account forever until you fail. Let's say
Fail the challenge.
as long as
Fail the
you
account.
are in profits, you have that account, you keep it. 25K account has 2 different payment options. One is monthly option, and one is one-time fee option. So monthly option with the discounted price is $174 per month.
25K.
25K. So how it works, let's say at the end of 30 days, because it's a monthly subscription model, at the end of 30 days, if your account is in profit, right, and your subscription expires, we don't remove that profits. You get to keep those profits in the
Just
account
need to
moving.
resubscribe.
Yeah. But if your account is in drawdown and the next month starts, we reset your account. So you start from the initial balance.
But I think like this is a very good model because from numbers point of view, if I think numbers point of view, and I get like a 10K for $150, and I make 5%, that is $500. And what is your profit ratio?
On instant funding, it starts from 60, scalable up to 100. So initially at 60%. So that's like $300
yeah.
that you're going to be
Like,
getting.
It looks good. It looks good. Like you get an account, you just make 5%, and you get the you get the first payout basically.
Consider it that way. Like you are doing, let's say, 10K challenge. On phase 1, you have to do 9%, let's say with Fundedsquad. Then phase 2, 6%. That's 15% that you're going to be making.
Exactly.
And almost the same price. Like 10K account will be, let's say, $70, $80, right? Or with the discount, $60. You pay $153. You make 15%, and your reward share is going to be $900 that you're going to be getting. So the return on investment of the same amount and same percentage that you're just going to be doing in order to pass the evaluation, but with Fundedsquad instant funding, what you are doing is that you are making 15%, 3 times, I'm saying like 9 and 6, similar amount of profits that you're making. You're going to be getting 3 times payouts to you every single time, 300, 300,
Because
300.
on 2-step, like you have to pass the phase 1, you have the same odds of losing the challenge, and then you have to phase 2, again the same odds of losing the challenge or passing the challenge, like it's 50-50. If you have a bad market, you might lose. Then you're on the
100%.
funded stage, same thing.
Same thing,
You have 50% odds of making a payout or losing the account, but on the instant funding, you pay $150 and you make 5%, which is, let's say you pay $150, you get a 10K account, make $500, 5%, and you get 60% payout, which is I think like $290, $300 something.
Yeah,
60%.
Yes, 300.
And you minus the initial investment, which is $150.
You're still in
take
profit,
out, you're taking $100 and $150,
and you get to keep the account.
you get to keep the account, and the next 5% you make like it's a whole like. So do you also increase your percentages like from like your first payout is 60%, but you said like it's scalable up to 100%.
Yeah. So on a 25K and 50K account, what we do, if let's take an example, easy example of 50K account. You're on 50K account, you make 10% profits. Once you make 10% profits and you apply for a scaling plan, we increase your 50K account to 100K. At that time, now your profit split is 70%. Other than that, your overall drawdown is increased massively as well. Then on a 100K account, let's say if you make 5%, you request a payout, you get 70%. However, if you decide to take it to 10% and you apply for a scaling plan, we scale you from 100K to 200K and we increase your profit split to 80%. Now you even have bigger drawdown because of the amount that you made. It's now included in the drawdown, and it's absolute drawdown, not trailing drawdown on the scaling plans, right? Then same thing from 200K to 400K, profit split will be 90%. From 400K, directly you go to 1 mil. Once you are at 1 mil, you are actually going to be trading our funds that we're going to be allocating to you. You will be our fund manager, and that's how the model is designed. And every single amount that you're going to be making at this stage, it's going to be yours. No monthly subscription. And one thing, once you are at 400K stage, you don't have to pay any subscription. The account is yours forever now, right? So you pay monthly subscription when you're on 25K or 50K. You pay monthly subscription, the same amount that you're going to be paying on 25K or 50K. Even if you scale to 100K, the amount is going to be same. So you pay that amount, you trade 100K, same for 200K. But once you're at 400K, no subscription, nothing. Account is all yours.
So like, this is actually a very good model, to be honest, because I'll be giving it a try, to be honest, because I was not a fan of instant funded accounts, but looking at the numbers now, like you can even make like 10%.
Yeah.
Like 10% is what you're making on
Yeah.
FTMO to pass
Yeah,
the phase 1.
100%.
The 10% you're making on an instant account
Instant
by
account.
paying 150 and you're getting like 60% of it. Like just by like it's like you're passing phase 1 and you're getting the payout
Yeah.
in your initial bag. This is a good model. Like to be honest, I'll give it a try. Like you
Looking
guys
forward
also
to it.
like take a look at it, and the way like I'm looking at the numbers, it seems good. But like honestly speaking, like upfront, do you have any sort of consistency rules or some shadow rules that might come in play to
Yeah. So for us, no consistency rule on one step, no consistency rule on two step, no consistency rule on instant. Nothing at
just
all.
say there's no hidden rules? Like
Yeah,
it's simply you pay
but
150. You
On
stay
instant, there is nothing. Like, there is a rule of 2 minutes that you have to hold your trade for minimum of 2 minutes.
Okay.
Right.
News trading rule or something.
News trading is not allowed. It's mentioned on FAQ. There is nothing here.
Yeah, because-
Every single rule that we have from the risk point of view.
Yeah.
Every
Because
single
there
thing is
has
mentioned
to
on
be
website.
something,
Of course.
to deter the gambler. Otherwise,
Yeah.
like this model wouldn't be
Sustainable at all,
sustainable
yeah.
at all.
So we have few rules. News trading is not allowed for opening of news is not allowed.
5 minutes before, 5 minutes
4
after,
and
something
4.
like that.
Yeah, it's 4 minutes
4
before,
minutes and
yeah,
4 after.
minutes
Yeah,
after.
fair enough.
And then we have a rule of trade duration, which is you have to hold your trade for a minimum of 2 minutes.
2 minutes, fair
You don't have
enough.
to put any stop loss. It's
Yeah.
up to you, whatever you are doing. But you have to have that whole trade like for minimum of 2 minutes.
These are fair
Right?
rules.
And then there is a reverse trading rule to avoid gamblers. Because
Yeah,
when
like
we
hedge
launched,
traders buy there,
Oh.
sell there.
other than that, you know what? I started noticing a pattern that every other trader who doesn't know trading, they're randomly buying on gold, especially randomly buying when market isn't giving any profits, or let's say they
Wake
hold
up and
that
buy.
right?
They wake up and they buy.
Yeah, so they wake up and they buy, and they see market it didn't make them any profit. They go and sell
Okay.
within a minute, right? So we put one rule like
2
6-7
minutes
months ago.
minimum holding.
Other than that, this is reverse trading. So once you close your trade in a negative, right, on a pair, let's say you're trading Euro USD, so you close your trade in a losing position, right? For 20 minutes, you can't open buy.
Oh.
You can open sell, but you can't go now reverse because
Exactly.
you are just looking. Okay, market is suddenly going down
Oh,
or
you're
going
just
up. Let's say
changing
you
directions,
changing
uh,
direction.
yeah.
So on a same pair, if the trade is in a loss, if trade is in profits, and you decide to change your bias, all good. So
That's
these
how
are the
a-
rules, and
that's
these
how
are the
a
only things.
sensible trader
Yeah.
should be. Like when you have a loss, you take a break.
Yeah.
So basically, this rule is actually building your psychology. If you take a loss, take a break for 20 minutes,
And then come back again.
on the charts, look at the analysis, and get into the trade again.
Yeah.
So this rule is actually. It's going to help out a lot of traders to build their psychology. This is good one. This is good especially to deter the reverse traders. I know this is
Yeah, you have that
from
you had
Pakistan and from India,
and
like-
Pakistan.
Yeah.
So many traders that
so
that
many
does this.
traders they try to abuse the system, and the firms then they ban Pakistan,
Yeah.
India. Sadly, there are people,
Yeah.
and they're big names. They do it openly. They have done it openly. Like
Yeah.
even they have fooled big firms.
I know the names, so I understand what you're saying.
Okay, so Ajwad, like at Fundedsquad, what was the biggest payout?
We did 22K with one guy, and the same trader he got another payout of 16K. So total, in 2 payouts, he got 38K from Fundedsquad.
Was it a prominent name or?
No, it's just a
Random
trader
guy.
from Lebanon who received. Like he gave us interview, and it's on our YouTube channel.
All right.
He did 38K. That's the highest one so far.
So was it on instant or on two-step?
On two-step,
On
200K
two-step.
account.
200.
One account, 200K and 38K in total payouts.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So did he lost that account or he
Yeah,
still
now
keep?
he lost that account, and I saw that he took one more challenge, but he wasn't able to pass, so he didn't trade it after that.
So this is like a very common thing. Like it also happens with me, a lot of other traders. Like you get the one payout, second payout, third payout. Like what is the secret sauce to keeping that account for the long term? Like keep milking like 1%, 2%, small profits, and keep stacking that up. What is the secret sauce?
Many traders, they don't understand. They don't have to trade every day. They have to
Yeah.
trade when there is a possible opportunity. So when you start to trade every single day, you definitely lose. There is no, in my opinion, there is no second point of that. Like you lose definitely. So the less you trade, the more money you make ultimately. And when it comes to propfirm funded accounts, it's the same formula. I applied the same formula. I was just trading once in a week, twice in a week. I had 500K TFT account. Was trading, risking 0.5%, not more than that. because it was a 500 funded. If I'm risking 0.5%, that's already 2,500. So every trade that I'm making profits, that's $7,000 to $8,000 that I was making. And once you start to understand that you have to trade less, ultimately that helps you avoid those random BS trades that you're going to be taking, and helps you avoid over trading and also over risking. Because imagine if I'm a trader, I look for the opportunity, I execute it, and that trade goes against me, right? I'm someone who wants to trade again and again, right? I'm thinking, okay, there is another opportunity coming on a different pair, so let me just take a trade there. Now I'm trading again on probably the same day or the next day. So I already lost, and I haven't really given a thought that why I lost, what did I do wrong. I haven't done any journal on it or nothing yet so far, and I'm trading again. So when you keep trading, you are ultimately losing, and that's what the successful traders out there, they don't do. They trade very less, and when you trade less, the more money you make.
So, Ajwad, like, what is your prop firm's outstanding point that makes it different from other firms?
Yeah, so other than the instant funding with no consistency score, as I mentioned, we guarantee your rewards within 12 hours or you get $1,000. But it's not only that. If you are on funded account that you got after passing the challenge, this rule is for, this USP I would say, is for our challenge models. If you got the funded account after you passed the challenge and you were in profits, but you ended up failing your account, we still pay you out. Now, how it works, it's probably one of the unique thing about Fundedsquad. Let's say you made 6%, assuming, right?
On a funded account.
On a funded account, on the challenge model. And there is a 4% daily drawdown, and you ended up hitting daily drawdown. So you're still above 2% right now.
Yeah.
Right? So we are going to be paying you off that 2% if you fail your funded account.
Oh.
So that's how this
Nice.
reward protection at Fundedsquad works. So rewards within 12 hours, and also we protect your rewards. If you're on funded account, we protect your profits, and you get to keep your payout to you.
This is good.
Yeah.
This is good, actually. This is a very unique selling point. I really admire these rules. I'll definitely try it out, because obviously, like, if you're having a $10,000 payout and you still want to continue trading,
Yeah.
and out of some bad luck you hit the 5% drawdown or 4% drawdown,
4%
you mentioned 4%
drawdown,
drawdown, but you still have the 6% profit buffer. And
You're gonna get
the
paid.
trader, they can take that payout, but they're gonna
100%.
lose the account, obviously.
Yeah, like the
Yeah.
account is lost, but the profits that you made,
Profits-
they're not lost.
Nice. That's good. That's good. That's a unique selling point. So, Ajwad, like, I'll definitely be trying out your Fundedsquad propfirm, instant funding especially, and the other models as well. You guys can also, the links will be in the description of this YouTube. So, Ajwad, like, tell me about yourself as a person. Like, what are the qualities you admire in other people, and what are the qualities that you are improving in yourself?
Well, for me, I have had really bad habits over the past few years, and one of them was not able to sleep in time.
Oh,
And my sleep is really fucked right now. And I'm trying over the last couple of months, I'm trying to improve it in a way that I'm able to sleep early so that I get up early, but it's terrible right now, right? So that's one of the thing that I'm trying to improve, and also hitting the gym every single day. I wasn't really working out for a very long time, but now I am. So that's some improvement for me. And when I look at other people, it's how they treat others, right? So let's just say if you and me, we are at restaurant and there is a waiter out there and he's bringing you anything whatever you ordered. I definitely 1000% look like how you are talking to that person, right?
Boom, we're on
and
the same
how
page.
how you treat that person,
Yeah.
because that's something very, very important. Even
Yeah.
if I'm on a date, let's say, that's probably one of the best things
Exactly.
that I try to look out in other people. And other than that, like what kind of a person you are. I don't like someone who's always, I would say, over in everything, right? I'm an introvert.
Exactly.
I prefer that it's more maturity in a person and then some random bullshit. So that's
this
how I
is a
am.
big quality to look for in people, because the way you treat a people who are lower in class than you,
Yeah.
the similar you will be treated if you are not in the
Yeah,
position
100%,
right now.
100%.
So this is something I really look in people. Even like in my friend circle, family, if I see some waiter or maid or something, I make sure that
Yeah.
they are treated the same, right? If I'm eating something, they should be eating the same. And this is the very good one. I really liked it. So Ajwad, like, do you mention one thing, like you're having sleep problems? Do you
Yeah.
think like it's because of a lot of work or hyperactivity of the brain, and how you are tackling it right now?
The thing is, like, it all depends, like, how you have been taking care of yourself. Like in uni, in Pakistan, we don't really sleep early anyways, right?
Yeah.
So the same routine I started following when I was in UK. Now, the problem is that it's fine even if you're going to sleep like at 2 or 3. In my opinion, it's fine because I know fucking multi-millionaires who does the same thing. Like they don't
Exactly.
sleep well. And I think as a man, you should not be sleeping well anyways. However, the point here is when I'm trying to go to sleep, I'm always on my phone. I'm not scrolling. I'm replying to messages, looking at emails, looking at other things, sometimes scrolling as well. That's probably one of the things that's really fucking me up. And I think that's something that I have been trying to improve in a way that I'm not really using my mobile in the past few days. Even for day-to-day communication, I'm using laptop because when I'm sitting and working on WhatsApp, if I'm replying, it's at least on a laptop and not on mobile, so that I don't have to go to different apps and I start scrolling again and again. That's a problem that I've been having, and it's gonna be definitely fixed. So that's one thing.
Exactly. So, other than trading and managing your prof firm, what are the other activities, hobbies that you like?
Yeah. So when I'm in UK, you will find me like out almost all day. I don't
Okay.
sit at home. And
Right. So, is it you're out to network, to connect with people, or are you just giving time out
Both.
to yourself?
Both. So when I say I'm out, I mean like I'm sitting in some networking events, or I will be at place where the like-minded people are sitting and we're working all together, or I will be alone completely. Right? Won't be doing anything. I don't play right now any sports. Like I play, but very rarely. Let's say yesterday night I was playing paddle for 3-4 hours, and last week as well. But it's right now because I'm here in Pakistan. If I'm in UK, the maximum what I do is I just go and play snooker, and that's the only thing I do.
You do play snooker?
Yeah, I do play
Okay.
snooker. I'm not really good at it, but I do play like almost every week. And trading, to be honest, now I'm not even able to trade because of how the things are. I'm managing my firm, I'm managing my marketing company, I'm managing many clients for personal branding. So these are all the things that we are doing right now. And most of the time it's work, and sometime it's just, when there is nothing, then I will be just chilling.
So, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Well, that's a very good question, to be honest. I want to be the best CEO in the prop industry, and I'm definitely going to be there. I want to have the best prop firm in the industry, or I would say the number one prop firm in the industry. In 5 years, that's definitely achievable. Have a net worth of few millions, and then disappear from the world.
Nice. That's nice. So, like, do you kind of a personality who provides in your circle, or you just stay away? Like, do you enjoy yourself being the provider of your circle, of your family, or like, what is your approach like
I
around
don't
people?
think I can ever be the provider, or anyone can ever be the provider. It's the work of God, and He does all the things. You can only be a mode that
A means.
mean that
Yeah.
that He's gonna be using you to take care of you people. Who I take care of and what I do for them, that's of course in my heart, and it will stay there. However, it's good, when you see your very close people, can be your friends, your family, and you see smiles on their face because of you, that that you get kick.
Yeah, you get the kick to do more and more and more.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So, Ajwad, like a very serious question. Like, if you lose everything right now, you get out of this door and you have nothing. You don't have a prof firm. You don't have any capital. You don't have any social media. How would you start again, like from fresh, like?
The best thing right now you can do is have a personal brand. In my opinion,
Personal
that's
brand.
probably the best thing. Like if I didn't start YouTube, I probably wouldn't be sitting here, and I won't probably have a prop firm. In 2021, I made a decision. I was a guy who was never in front of camera. I wasn't able to speak. I still remember the time when I was recording. Still remember the title of the video what I recorded. I wasn't able to speak, but because I built a personal brand, that helped me go from a very small level to making not only over few $100,000 just with the firms and from trading, but also building quite few businesses right now. So I would say if I don't have anything, and it can happen anytime,
Anytime,
but
exactly.
yeah, it can happen anytime. But I will still go back to work. Like, work is the only way out.
So you mean to say like a person should be having his presence on the
Yes,
social media.
100%.
You should be having your
Yeah.
facial value.
In my opinion, and I say this to all my friends and probably to my family as well, either you should be on socials properly
Providing some value.
or creating content, or you shouldn't be there.
Oh.
There is no in between. There are so many people, so many, like probably billions of people, I would say, or just randomly scrolling, and neither they are doing anything and they are just wasting time, right? So because they are wasting time, other than that, there is no privacy there. You are fucking posting whatever you want to and
No,
sharing.
it's social media.
Either you are making money from socials or you shouldn't be on
if
socials.
something
That's
is
the only
for
way.
free,
Yeah.
you are probably the product.
You are the product.
You are the product. I was having a podcast with Raja Banks, or he mentioned the same thing, that you have to build a social brand because you can lose all this. Like you can lose your Instagram account because if you have your facial value, you can always pop up
Yeah.
again with a new account, right? So Ajwad, like, what is your approach on AI? Like, is it going to dominate trading?
100%. But other than trading, I think it's gonna dominate everywhere. I see times
how-
where
how
we're
it's
gonna be
gonna-
fighting fucking robots.
Yeah, but how it's going to dominate trading? Because trading is all about emotions. Like,
One thing you should know, right now, even at this time, hedge funds mostly are trading with the AIs,
Algorithms,
right?
yeah.
So all the algorithms are working, but there is a human element that's involved. And I think in the times coming, it's going to be the same. Like human will be involved in some way to manage the algorithms, right? So AI definitely is going to be really good. However, just like right now, there is going to be involvement of human.
Definitely true. That's true. So do you believe like all these structures on the charts, like it's artificially engineered by the algorithms to trap out the retailers?
The thing is, I won't say that it's done by artificial or algorithms. It's done by the very, very, very smart players of the world who control everything. They are the ones who's moving the markets. They are the one who's putting billions of dollars every single day in a specific currency. They are the one deciding what needs to be done on a specific currency. So whether they are taking help just to make the moves through, like they're taking help from algorithm, or they are doing it however they are doing it. But that's what I used a word for. I was saying big boys. So big boys are basically these boys who are taking care of everything, and they are the ones that making you fail, but you are on the other side of the equation, and you are letting them make you fail. So once you start to understand how they play the game,
Exactly.
then you understand how
Then
you
start
you
to
can make
position
money
your-
from trading.
Yeah, you start to position yourself better. So Ajwad, like to come towards the conclusion, like is there some piece of advice like you want to give to your followers, to your audience, like right looking in the camera?
Yeah. So everyone who's watching right now, and you want to be a better trader and better person, first I'm gonna come to trader. First, you need to start by learning a systematic approach, and it's not going to be that you are looking at chart in a way today and tomorrow you are having a different approach. You need to backtest and make a plan, make a systematic approach that works. Once you have that, then comes the psychological part. Without technicals, what are you going to do with your psychology when you don't even know how you need to trade? So work on your psychology, and the way to work on it, let's just say if you see that you are taking bad trades, and at the same time you're drinking, let's say, any cold drink, Coca-Cola, try to not drink that cold drink and see how you're going to be reacting to it, right? So if you can remove this bad habit, then you can definitely remove bad habit of taking the trades. How you're going to be doing it, it's up to you, because it depends from a person to person. Once you have trading strategy and you then develop your psychology, then comes the risk management. And risk management is not like something very easy. It comes down to every person, like how much they're willing to lose. I can afford a loss of, let's say, $5,000, but on the other hand, there can be someone who can't really afford to lose even $100, and they want to risk $1,000 on a trade. So it all depends how much you are willing to lose and how much you can accept the loss, because acceptance is the key here. So these three elements, once you have that, I can guarantee you're going to be making a heck ton of money from trading if you follow every single thing that I mentioned. Now, coming down to a part where you can be a better person, you need to work on yourself in a way that you're going to be providing value every single time. If you're sitting in your friends and you have the same habits that they have, you say the same words that they say, you walk the same way that they walk, then what's different? You need to be different from others, different mindset from the other people. You need to have different approach for money from other people. Like when I sit with some friends and they are not on the same level with me, I have a different mindset, even if I'm not showing them, but whatever they are saying or they are doing doesn't have to make sense to me, and it doesn't make sense to me. So that's how you need to build, and you need to be, again, a people person. Try to provide value, try to take care of your loved ones, and then God will take care of the rest of the things.
Yeah, it's a wholesome. Thank you so much for the advice. About wholesome. I really enjoyed having a
Thank you,
podcast.
man.
Thank you so much for giving me this privilege.
Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah. Cheers. Nice
Thanks,
one.
man. Take care.